Call the meeting to order. First on the agenda, is there any changes or additions?
Yes, please, if we could delete, review, and approve highway certificate, mileage certificate, and please delete labor relations, not with a full board. I think it's fair to have a full board to approve a contract.
Okay. Next, approve the minutes of the meetings of February 11th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from February 11th.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So passed. Committee concerns? Hearing none. Liquor control.
Make a motion to go into liquor control board.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
There's one renewal for Walgreens.
No bar brawls in Walgreens. Yes, we're good. I'll make a motion to approve the Walgreens request for a renewal.
Second.
It's they've changed their parent company name. There's a acquisition from, I don't know, months ago. Yeah.
Did I hear a second?
Yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So passed.
Make a motion to come out of the liquor control board.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? New business. Review the summary of the fund balances.
Tina, I'm just going to ask you to help me go through this. This is something that we just got at. There's one change from the town report. I think the town report says 431,952, something like that.
606, but yeah.
Yeah, since we got the audit, so it's a little bit more than what the town report, but the auditor finally got us some of these reports so that we use. So just so everybody understands, our total unrestricted is at 433,952 right now. Restricted funds are monies that can only be used for those things that are labeled. The select board can't change or utilize those funds for anything else. It looks like a big number, but a lot of that is the Copley Trust.
Yeah.
So, but they can't be used for anything else. And committed funds, those are all voter-approved funds. Once again, they can't be used for anything else except for those intended purposes. And then the assigned funds, these are the funds that the select board has assigned to different projects over the years. The HRA really can't be used for anything else either. It could be, and so I wouldn't recommend it.
What's the sidewalk project, Route 100?
The Route 100 sidewalk project, that's the big project we just got done.
Yep.
These figures as of June 30th, 18, so
Got it,
that
okay.
has gone down considerably.
Got it.
I think it's,
It's 102,000 right now.
but we just paid the final bill off of that.
Yeah, that includes 102.5 is what it'll be when the final bill is done.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Comments or anything on any of it, or, I mean, kind of,
This shows up in the budget as,
And
sort of as it's shown here.
it shows up in the town report, yes. You know, not necessarily in the annual budget, but in the town report. There's
Okay.
the minor changes are the ones up top where the auditor changed some things on us at the last
Okay.
minute.
I'm probably jumping ahead, but I'm assuming the next conversation is around shifting funds out of that remaining
Yes.
102?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You're psychic.
Well, most of the other things you can't really touch.
Okay, so this this is one of the things that usually comes up at town meetings, so it's handy information for you to have available at
Yeah.
town meetings as well.
Do we need to keep this with us?
It is, I would, if,
Okay,
yeah, I think it would just be one of those
It's
things.
in the
that-
town report.
It's in the town report as well.
Okay.
so It's a handy one to have,
All
handy
right.
to be able to look at, so.
That'll be in our budget book, so we have it with us or no?
I can't remember if I put that in your budget book or not. If I didn't, I can give you copies and put them in.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah. I can't remember if I did that or not. I think it might be in there, but we'll have to look.
Okay.
Okay. Next, approve transfer of funds to pay off rotary lift.
This is something that we talked about when we got it, we went back and when she was paying the bills, found out that although we made the decision to purchase it, we did not authorize the transfer of funds from the Route 100 project to this, although that's where we knew we were gonna get the excess money from. And Tina, it wouldn't be the whole 51,000 though, because we had money in the budget. We had 18 in the budget.
Oh, it may not be the whole, it wouldn't be the whole 51. I have to look at the budget. You want me to go down and grab it?
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, sorry about that.
For sure. If you want, we can just move on to the next one and come back and do that.
Yep.
okay.
Okay, we'll move on to review the design plans for the Oxbow bathrooms.
Hi. Here you are, Jim Players once again. It is one open building, 2 sinks, center, 2 stalls, each end. Chris had asked me to also about the double sinks. I think it's a great idea, as you know, you have someone here that's washing. We also have, if you remember, our community gardens are right here, you know, so I'm sure they'll be very happy to have sinks in there.
The basic structure hasn't changed, you know, instead of 2 doors or two different bathrooms, it's all one bathroom now with 2 different stalls.
Is there a baby changing station?
No?
Okay.
Honestly, we could add and add and add to this. And
Those are easy to
at
add.
this point, I think my own personal self of what this does is being an outdoor park bathroom. The more you add, the more problems we're gonna have. And we have a whole big wide park. You wanna change your baby, there's plenty of places, right up on the hill, right behind it. And I know what you're saying, Judy, but
Oh, no, no, no.
I wouldn't make a recommendation to
No,
add a whole.
don't worry about it. I was just
Okay.
curious.
No,
That's all.
No, it's pretty basic.
So this is a
Stainless
unisex
steel.
bathroom?
Yeah. Gender neutral.
Yep.
All ADA compliant, ramps here. Pretty simple.
That we're still maintaining with the stainless steel fixtures. I don't think anything else, it's still got the automatic door locks on it, so that it locks on a timer. There's no lock on the exterior door.
Yep.
So, you know, so it's still an easy to build structure, still the core walls, the exterior walls are, you know, poured concrete wall inside the styrofoam type things and sheeting that goes over that. So it's an easy to maintain, easy to build structure.
Did you say the exterior wall does have a timer on it to lock
The
it?
exterior door has a timer, so
Oh,
whatever.
good.
So, you
Good.
know, we'll adjust it, you know, seasonally, you know, so that we can lock it.
8 at night, 8 in the morning, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on what it does.
It'll lock at 8, unlock at 8 in the morning.
But what you were saying is that there's no manual lock from the
There's no
inside, so
manual
you
lock.
can't lock yourself in the
Right, you
building.
can't lock yourself in.
And we probably, as you know, as we talk about this, and I'm sure we'll have to change some things, even if you have the Oxbow use, you know, they're doing these big events, there needs to be something in there about them making sure they are gonna maintain adding toilet paper and this and that. If you have over a certain amount of people, you have to have more than these anyways, you have to bring in toilets. But it's just something I think we need to think about, and I think it will be a learning curve this first year.
The manhole down there, and we'll try to maintain it through the construction of this too, is we kind of set that manhole and we'll continue with the pipes. So if somebody wanted to bring in the bathroom trailers, they'd be able to put that straight into the manhole rather than So, you know, we've always kept that option on that sewer connection down there to allow for somebody to do that. So we'll just maintain that clean out capability so that somebody can come in and plug into it if they wanted to. You know, I think that just makes
So
sense.
that's the
in
one
water.
with campers down there for parties. Chris, no, stop it.
Is the town liable if there's, like, someone gets molested or something in the
There
bathroom?
absolutely are, just like they are if they're in my office or downstairs.
Okay.
But,
I think that the thing is, are we negligent, you know? And I
Liable?
Well, somebody, you know, everybody's always trying to sue the town for something that happens on a regular basis, but, you know, is there any negligence on our part to do this? And I'd say we don't have any negligence.
Okay, good.
This is really why, when we first came, the first set of plans, when it was split, and it was 2 separate entrances, and that you could lock the door on the outside, why we got to this open floor plan, so you couldn't go in and have a privacy. You can lock your stall, but there'll also be people right outside that stall washing their hands or using the other one. And it just adds to the, I mean,
Are the doors on the stall solid doors, or are they space underneath, space over the top?
space underneath, space over top.
So I know we discussed this, and I'm still concerned about, I like this, I think it's a big improvement. I'm still concerned about access to supplies and cleaning. I understand that it's gonna be cleaned by someone else, but from my perspective, it would seem to make sense to have a locked supply closet, even if it's a cement, you know, you can't get through it easily. I understand the concern of not having an open supply closet because they'll walk away
Yeah.
faster than you can stop them. But a locked closet for extra toilet paper, cleaning supplies, a hose to hose the place
But
out,
who's
whatever.
gonna open that? You know, I guess I think.
I mean, even if I'm cleaning it, I personally prefer not to schlep around a toilet brush, and when I can, if it's stays there, like, it's nothing I wanna carry
Your
around.
officers, will they be schlepping the rock? Oh, sorry.
And I'm also thinking, this is a public bathroom, so
Yeah.
I think our little tiny rolls of toilet paper probably we wouldn't be able to keep up with those. I think you're gonna need those
We're gonna.
massive ones, so like having I'll pick on Moogs because they're down there a lot, having them stock that, like, I think we need some level of supplies.
Would they pay
on
the
site.
town to stock it?
Well, I think we've had discussed about
Yeah.
going to
Yeah, we've got-
a fee schedule.
We've got something set up.
Okay.
We're ready for
You know, when there's special events, we talked about that.
They're gonna pay a part fee.
You're right,
Yeah.
which would cover
Some of it.
things like that.
I think, you know, my only concern is we're trying to keep it as simple, which, you know, and
Well, I understand that, but if you added, just for example, I don't know what, again, I'm not an engineer, I don't know the ADA requirements, that, you know, no need clearance, but if you're able to put in, it doesn't need to be very wide, something here that's just, you build out
well, both,
brick walls.
yeah,
or
both
something.
sinks won't have to be ADA compliant. We could probably shift one around, so.
Yeah, but it doesn't,
Yeah.
it really, it's fine, because you've already met your ADA right here, so if you
Right.
put something here,
And
you're outside your ADA compliance.
Right.
I'm just thinking, if you make these,
Do it
whatever
floor to
they're-
ceiling, do it so you can have just shelves all the way through it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I ran into Donnie Blake too, who I discussed this a little bit with. He seemed to think that made sense. He did talk about a floor drain, so I'm glad to see that in there. And then also they have those, like, in a lot of commercial spaces, those faucets that are run by a
Automatics.
key or whatever, the
Yeah.
weird key, just for,
So the water doesn't continually run.
and so no one can go in and mess around with it. I don't know what they're called. You would probably know.
Yeah. Like, started with Donnie.
Not an engineer.
Donnie's plans.
Yeah.
Are they sensors? The water will go on by sensors or just push a handle or
Usually
something?
it's an automatic shut off. It's not a sensor. You know, like the ones that you pop down with your hand and then they automatically shut off.
Shut off? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Tell me. Like where you hook, does anyone know what I'm talking about? Like you hook, like I'm talking about like where you, he was talking about like some cleanability of being able to hose the place out even.
You're
These
talking
are
about
minor
yeah.
details. These are details for later on, but.
You're talking about, so you put a hose on the end of the thing.
Called
Like
faucet.
we have it right now, right outside it on the pumper, you know, when you were asking about
It's
water.
but it's in order to turn it on, someone couldn't just go in and turn it on.
Right, you need a hex key.
You need exactly,
Yeah, I know.
so that someone doesn't flood the place.
Well, we can add that into the notes.
I mean, that's tiny.
Yeah, but it's a good idea, we can add that. to
But-
That was just one of his recommendations.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy, you could put it like right here, it costs another
It's part of the plumbing.
couple $100.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
And they're manual flushes too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't know how to do that anymore.
They'll learn. Or else someone else will learn.
I think it's an improvement, personally.
More comments? This last call, I'm just saying, everyone, we want to put it out to bid pretty soon.
So later on, if we decide we need a lock on the other door, we can always put it on.
Right.
Yeah, we can put a lock on.
Looking at a picture, I just wanna make sure if my granddaughter walks in there and goes in that room, that she's safe. Cause if she can lock the door, nobody else is gonna get in. But now they can go in.
Yeah, but
said they
you,
can be standing right outside the
but
door.
you can go right here,
Yep,
no different than you were out here.
right.
The problem with the old one is someone could
Be in there.
force you in there and you would never know.
We could change that if we needed to later on. See if we're having issues or something.
That's okay, it'll be after my time working with the house, so you can take it all you want.
If
I
we-
just need to get it built.
I'm sure if we needed to, we could take a door and put a lock on it. So I'm not really worried about that. for you.
We probably won't, because you're probably right. This probably, because it's gonna be safer than the other way.
I think.
Yeah.
It's like going into any other public restroom.
Yeah.
And if you decide you really need a baby changing table, the one we have in the bathroom, that was just a friend of mine donated it.
We're not putting it in, let me just clarify for you. Okay, no, you.
I already have, I already have
The
some,
question will come up.
I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts, don't worry.
I think it could, when
You better
No,
start now.
no, no, no,
This is
no.
all I do.
No, this is just, this is totally aside, yeah.
My only other comment that we, just for what's in the public space that we talked about was just from a wellness perspective, and I understand it's beyond the scope of this. I like the idea if there's a bottle filling station for water bottles.
I think we'll work on that, right outside it, Chris, where we do already have our water, and where it's just at a pump thing. When we put it on the other side of the park, I put, plain water, drinking water, is what we put over there, and you take the bottle right over on the other side of the garden, so it's good just to make signs so people know.
So will you, this will be all locked for winter?
Yep.
Okay.
That water we shut off in the winter time.
Yeah, the water we shut off and drain in the winter.
Okay. Yep.
Same as we do for the gardens. We get it all on there.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Our work here is done.
You were right there, the 18, and there's the only vote for 33,921.85. And it's another one.
Sure.
I make a motion that we authorize the transfer of $33,921.85 from the general designations earmark fund to be used to purchase the rotary lift.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So passed. EMS volunteer resignation.
Hi, good evening.
Aye.
Dan Murray came to us last week to submit his resignation. Good reason, he's been accepted in medical school. So, go Dan.
Yeah.
And he hopes to be back here in probably 6 to 8 years as an emergency medicine physician, so.
Excellent.
You can't do both?
Actually, there are some who do, so that's the reason for Dan's resignation.
Make a motion to accept Dan Maroney's resignation from the EMS.
Second, with regret.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Old business. Hearing none. Approve the warrant.
Make a motion to approve the warrants.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No pass. EA report.
Second constable, Chief, you want to talk about the second constable, or should be an opening this year, you think?
Well, I believe it probably will. So, you're first.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
Second constable,
Go ahead.
Eric's the first, so, has to be a town resident, just so everybody's aware of that. I think you have something.
Yeah, I mean, I asked Garth if he's interested, he's a resident now, so I can put him on the warrant. Garth Christensen.
Reminder about Charlie's retirement. There's an open house here from 9 to 12 on Friday morning.
Oh, boy, I think I can make it.
The old A2 ambulance, the one that is no longer inspectable, repairable, or anything along those lines. We've had 5 people, I think, look at it, Bill, and nobody's expressed any interest in it. And I don't think, it's not inspectable, it costs a fortune to repair it. I think there's some conversation between EMS and fire to use that for a training vehicle, for extraction. Does the board have any problem with that? Because if so, we'll set it up and let us use it for a training vehicle. We're not going to get anything for it. Nobody really wants it. It's not roadworthy anymore. We did check, I think, with the BTC, see if they wanted to use for a simulator vehicle down there for their training. They didn't. So we don't have a way to get rid of it rather than scrap metal. So if nobody has any objections, that's what we'll move forward with.
So to get it roadworthy cost too much.
Cost too much. It's all rusted out, there's things falling off of it.
So you're gonna use it for a drill and then scrap it?
Usually what we do when we get the vehicles is the guy who tows it for us, well aware for all the work, he lets us keep them in his yard, is we give him the scrap metal, it doesn't equal much.
I'm fine.
Okay. Just so everybody knows what we're gonna do with it. We had it sitting down there for a while, trying to do something with it one way or the other. Sorry. There's a sewer plant tour Wednesday at 3 o'clock. I thought it'd be appropriate to invite the rest of the board. I know Eric and Bob are gonna be there. But if anybody else would like to tour the sewer plant, at 3 o'clock, and we can warn a meeting for it.
I can't make it.
Okay. No?
Probably can't make it, usually.
All right. Just throwing that out there just in case, I know there's been.
As exciting as it sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to go,
Take pictures and bring back samples, how's that?
especially the sample.
Now, first time you go, you have to drink the water at the end.
I've been
Pass.
there years and years and years.
Okay. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I know there's been some interest in doing it. I don't know while everybody's here, staff-wise and select-wise, if anybody has any questions about town meeting or anything going on. Sarah made a lot of changes to the process. Anything that the board feels like they need. Tina made up some stuff for Eric on the paving and the sidewalk and what we spent over the years because we're kind of anticipating those questions. Anything that the board needs from the staff before then?
You don't know what you don't know sometimes.
You're all set with Bob?
Yes.
He's
I think
gonna-
he wants to come meet with me. I have the draft script I sent to, did I send it to Bob? Yes,
Yeah.
Bob, Dan, Shap's reviewing it, hopefully, I guess I shouldn't have an opinion on camera, but, hopefully he will be elected. And I have 2 students that are going to come and present at town meeting at the beginning, read all the announcements, and they both wrote a mini blurb about why they're interested in being there. The middle school chorus is gonna do the anthem, and before that, they're gonna sing 2 80 songs that they've been working on and performing. Boy Scouts are gonna be there, Girl Scouts, so there's a lot of student youth involvement that I'm hoping will trigger parents to come. And like the chorus teacher has been, bring your kids, but please stay for the meeting.
You know, I think, we want to make sure if there's anything that you guys need from us, be prepared, and make sure that you guys know that, we'll get it together for you, ready as best as we can.
I chopped the beginning of the meeting, all the announcements down quite a bit. I think it's from 7 pages down to about 3.
Were you anticipating our neighbor legislators?
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't want to be there very long though. Not that they don't want to be there. I talked to Dave today, they can't be there very long. They said last year, the other towns were upset how late it took them to get there because they were so long with us. So they really would like to limit their time so they can make it to all the towns.
Is that up to kind of the moderator to limit that, or whoever's?
Which would be Bob at that point.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to check and make sure, if there's anything you need us to prepare, if you think about it, let us know, we'll put something together for it. I think from our perspective, it's always better if you guys have the answers, we'll be there to help, of course, just like always. I think we're here to help you during that day. So,
How soon will we get our budget books? Will we have those before town meeting day?
You already have them, those 3-ring binders,
Okay, yeah. Forgot about it.
and I'm pretty
I
sure.
remember giving it to you, I forgot getting it back.
No, I've given them all out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the funds recap is in there too. I looked online, I think it's in there. If you find that it's not, let me know, but I'm pretty sure it is.
We finally got the audit today, so we'll set up the auditor to come in and probably at a meeting in March, so we can have a chance to look through it. If you have any questions, I think we'll set that up for the last meeting in March. So we guys have time to go through it, see if there's anything that you need from the auditor.
Does your cheat sheet, so to speak, on paving and sidewalks and stuff, does that include the planned projects,
It does.
including state projects?
No, this is strictly Morristown
Appropriated
funds, yeah, for our own street paving. And it recaps the paving back to when we went for the bond for 500,000, so.
It might be helpful just to have that with the understanding that it's not Morristown funds, but
Right.
just because people don't understand where the funds come
Yeah.
from,
Mhm.
for what projects, and driving around town right now is,
As far as, everything's still on track, and nobody's told me any different anyway, that, all the class 1 highways will be paved this summer.
okay,
So, so that's,
simple as that.
But a lot of people don't understand the class.
No, I know.
They think that-
Right, that's what I mean, so just-
Right, you need that pothole here, and you just did a nice job on this other road. It's not our road.
That's the main thing I've been hearing lately.
Oh, yeah.
What's class 1 in the town?
So class 1 in the town would be, go out, and this is where the village lines are realistically. So if it's a state designated highway, so Route 100, Route 12, 15A, and I'll explain the limits on those. Route 100 all the way through the village.
Is class 1?
Class 1, what class 1 means that every 7 years, the state's supposed to pave those for us. It's been more like 1994, I think was the last
27.
time. Yeah, so it's been, 25. And there was some things I think that pushed them back because you gotta look at their perspective. They were still, working on getting the bypass built before they wanted to pave in the downtown because you could have paved and the condition they would just got torn up again. So they do have that built now, so it's helpful and it will last a lot longer with all the truck traffic off of it. So in this particular case, the class 1 highway on Route 100 South starts just about where Jersey Heights is in there. And you can actually see the break where they used to pave. And there's actually a sign there that says throughway ends or throughway begins. So they come through, up Main Street, and then Main Street to the intersection of Portland Street, the first section of Rich Street, and then Brooklyn Street just to the other side of Harold Street will all be paved. For Route 12, it'll be from, actually it'll be from Main Street going the other way to the Y, the Veterans Memorial, and then Park Street out just the other side of the wall. That's where the throughway is there, it becomes state
Okay.
highway beyond that. That's the end of the class 1. And then for Route 12 going towards Elmore, is it Demars? Demars Road. So they're going to grind 2 inches of asphalt off of all that and repave all of it. They will, any anomalies with the sidewalk crossings and handicap structures, they're gonna replace and redo all that. They're gonna replace all the signage. Any manholes that need to be adjusted or catch basins, they'll do all that. It's probably a good $3 million project. So those are, that's the real scope of that project. Then they'll repaint all the lines, so.
How would us building sidewalks on that street impact new pavement?
I've been trying to keep projects off of that because it could. I think that I don't want to be in a position where I'm slowing down their contractor, because if we're slowing down their contractor, we could be liable for slowing them down.
Agreed. I'm just thinking, we're gonna come in after the fact. Are we gonna disrupt that brand new pavement to put our sidewalks in up to there?
Probably about a foot. And part of that's kind of, there's just no way not to sometimes. And it'll be the same thing, there'll be a water break in at some point in time, At least with the sidewalk, we're off to the shoulder for the most part. That's the reason why this section of sidewalk that we worked on last year, we went through and reset all that curb because it was leaning out. So we reset all that curb so that we don't have to go back in and do that. But I know the board interest has been building the sidewalk on out. We're gonna have to cut a little bit of that asphalt right there on the shoulder and put it in. And we're always gonna have work like that we're gonna do. I don't like it, but there's no way for us, I think, to get ahead of that at this stage. So, it just, we'll get done in 2 weeks, a week later, there'll be a water break and we'll be in there digging it up. It always happens like that, it just does, there's nothing anybody can do, so,
2045, we'll be back to pave it again, so we'll be all set.
yeah. So hopefully they'll keep up with it a little bit better. So that's the class 1 paving project, and that's really the broad scope of what they're going to do for us with that. Once again, that's all state funded money. We won't have to pay for anything on that. So it's once again, very, very big project. The other thing you probably remember about that, the core downtown area will be done at night. So that we impact the businesses as little as possible. It's going to be noisy, there's going to be congestion, and there's just no way to avoid it. That's the only way it'll ever get done.
Sorry, I know we're on this topic again, but last time when we were doing the A Street, B Street project, we talked about some mysterious fund around helping businesses.
I looked for that, I asked the question, there's really nothing out there that really exists for that.
The only reason I say it's gonna be 2 years in a row of
Right.
these lower, they're getting whacked again.
Right. This year, I don't think, once again, for that core business time, there won't be anybody working.
No, just people have a tendency to avoid construction.
Right.
So it's-
This is just grinding, there'll be you've seen it done before, what you have is you'll have the manholes, and you'll have trails on top of them, so it'll be more like driving to an obstacle course than a pothole course.
That one it is now.
Yeah. It might be better.
Someone was asking me about Randolph Road.
Okay, we have already on the existing contract for this year, we have another half mile, 3/4 mile of Randolph Road that we're gonna be doing. It's already in this contract, we'll be back once weather breaks. And I budgeted for another mile on Randolph Road.
So that'll be sometime between spring and fall.
Yes, yes.
I think the fellow was here and we gave him a contract for that, didn't
Well,
we?
it'll be,
Some will be in the spring and then the
So we'll
rest
be
will
in
be
the
in the
spring, then
fall.
there'll be another
The
section done
extra
in
will
the
be in the
fall.
fall.
Right.
Okay.
And that really, I know there's been discussion about, but if you look at really the way it maintained the budget on that, it's pretty hard for me to get anything closer just because I don't know the prices, so.
I'm wondering from the floor if anyone will be asking about the sewer and the BOD and who would take that?
And I think Bob and Eric are pretty well up to speed on that. If not, I can always help answer any technical questions you want to too. Between the three of us, I think we can answer anything that's there. I mean, it's a work in progress still, but it's moving.
Yeah. Andrew did a nice job in the paper of explaining it, yeah.
I don't know, Sarah's gonna have to answer any of the school questions.
Actually, I talked to Tracy Wren today. I said we were not gonna discuss any school stuff. It's not a school meeting. She liked that. She has to be at Stowe because they do have their school meeting that day. So hopefully we won't have to ask school questions. I emailed you all the figures for the supplemental tax bill, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I could see that possibly being a question asked.
That's all I have. I just wanted to recap, make sure if there's anything you need us to do for town meeting that, give us a call if you think about it. We'll get it put together for you. Tina's marvelous at that.
Business personal property, there, because of that question, that could
Mhm.
come up.
That's all I have.
Any more questions for Dave? Okay. Select concerns? Or
No.
Just, no, potholes. Just like if there's anything, I mean, it's really, really bad.
I'm impressed with the road crew. I mean, they've been working their tails off the past few months. And what?
Even potholes right now.
I know.
Not a lot.
It's been
No.
a difficult winter.
Someone asked me about Morristown looking at eliminating plastic bags. So I don't know where that goes, but I was asked to bring it to us.
I think that would have to be an ordinance. I know there's other towns out there that are considered, and I can see what I can find for the model ordinances and bring that back for the board's review.
Okay, that's it.
I got one, down the angle parking that you put in down by,
Yeah.
okay. Is there a limit on what size vehicles park there?
That's a good question.
I think we're gonna have to relook that when we get ready to start talking about it. I've heard some comments about it, and we've talked about this before, and I've heard comments and actually experienced it myself. I stopped at Thompson's one day, and there's a pickup truck parked right next to me. You're at the mercy for somebody to let you out because you can't see. The other thing I really noticed this winter, especially with the amount of snow they have, because it builds up on the edges and it really narrows. And the guys, everybody thinks, they forget we got wide vehicles that have to maintain our streets. And by the time you put a dump truck with a wing on it, even if the wing's up, they're still encroaching on the center line. I'm just not convinced after watching this winter that vehicle parking will work.
Unless it's compact cars, like, it can't be the big honking trucks, can't do it, no.
We can't stop them from, that would, the chief would have to.
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, I think it's either all angle.
Even if we had signs up saying no trucks,
Well, you could, but
we
you
could,
could enforce it too, but.
I've noticed going down through there quite often in the morning, first thing, there's this one truck there parked there, and he's got his front end up onto the curb, and still kind of, to me, it's sticking out. It's almost like you're coming around there, and all of a sudden you have to go like this to get around it. I didn't know maybe there should have been just compact cars there, if we were even supposed to have any, but maybe nothing. Okay.
After watching it this winter and seeing, and just really getting a grasp of how it's gonna work, I don't think there's enough lane widths. And I go back to the original decision on to make it into parallel parking was because there's the amount of accidents it was causing. So, we can revisit it. It's easy enough, to have them paint it whatever we want, but we can put that on the agenda again, because I know there's a lot of interest in the community about that parking over there, but I watch trucks coming down and with a wing on it, there's just not enough room for people to get through. You've got people with plows, and then backing out is really there's so much traffic, you can't see, you're looking both ways. If you are backing out of a parking spot and somebody hits you, it's your fault. So,
I voiced my opinion in the past on the angle parking, and I'll reiterate that we are not gonna solve our parking issue on the street. We need to come up with an off-street parking plan, and it is right for a committee to be formed to discuss just that. Research buildings that may be possibly purchased, or dealing with the existing parking lot, the municipal parking lot. I mean, creative thinking outside the box. We are not, our streets just aren't wide enough for angle parking, and we're not gonna solve our parking issue on the street. It's got to be done off, in my opinion. Safety being paramount, off-street parking is gonna be the answer to that. I don't have any answers for it, but it certainly needs to be researched.
I think the best thing for me to do is schedule that on a meeting agenda so we can, let everybody know that's been in before, discuss it, so they can meet with the public again. But I, just watching it this winter, and I pull it off to the side to let trucks through, because I know they can't get through.
I sympathize with our businesses downtown. I want this downtown to flourish, but I just don't want it to flourish at the sacrifice of safety.
Okay, thank you. Other business? Any other business?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So
Let's
passed.
see.